Hello everybody, welcome to Misfit. This is Mecha, and I'm going to take you through animating a fun fantasy fight scene that we did. So here's a couple snippets, we'll show the whole thing 50 seconds at the end. But yeah, obviously you're not seeing it right now, but had to do a lot of thumbnailing and boarding to get it all going. And I went ahead and I thought it would be a good idea to start with the opening shot. Opening shot has to do a lot. You have to have context for where everyone is, kind of tease what elements might be used in the fight scene. And in this case, I really want to show, the whole zombification, kind of give some atmosphere to the fight right away. And we could just made it a simple camera pan with no animated elements. It's, again, mostly just the setting. But I went ahead and I layered these characters in because I wanted to think, again, I'm trying to think of these animations as kind of like pitches or pre-production for a more cleaned up scene that, has enough that you can kind of see what's going on. If I hand this off to another team, cool stuff can happen. So having these characters layered up like this, one, I can do some fun dimensional panoramic. So these characters can kind of all dance independently of the next layer. We have a 2-frame animation for the waterfall. And yeah, we have a little bit of the characters animated in the background there. And that's kind of the impetus for the fight scene. So you're not seeing the beginning of the fight, but I want to find, this is what we want to do. We want to start pulling out chunks from comics or stories that can be fun on their own there. So here's another shot where Arrow is going to look and see to her friends, also under the same mind control. Again, kind of adding a ticking clock element to the fight, as it were. And when you have enough going on, you don't really need each character to be super duper animated. This is one of those shots where you're holding where, again, you're not trying to make a character go from point A to point B necessarily. You kind of want to take in this whole scene. And you're going to see a little trick I did. I'm not a dancer. Would have been probably a good idea to have Ace in here. But I went ahead and got some reference. And as you can see, I filled up about half the screen and just flipped it around. And then as you throw in some random background bodies and, move a couple hands up and down. Right now, when you have see the whole thing, it's a little more obvious. But when you zoom in for the actual camera shot, it's not quite as obvious. Similar trick here, I wanted to, again, basically we have one character down on the bottom, one character up at the top. Something has to change in a fight for someone to give up their safe ground. So if one character is throwing range attacks at you, it's like, oh, I'm not safe here anymore, I gotta get in past that range. And I really wanted to get the motion and the vibe there. And that meant not as much drawing as you may have thought. So this one, again, if I was being more proper animation, there would be some more in-betweens, maybe Arrow planting her leg before she jumps, but for this, we're kind of good. And as you can see, I kind of already had a background here. I'm reusing some of an earlier shot, which, again, kind of helps give context and continuity, but also it's just working smarter. Now, she kind of zooms close up towards the camera, obviously getting away from that splash. You may think you have to be more detailed or there's more drawing when someone's closer up. In certain parts, yeah, but you can see half her body's off camera, so kind of easier. This one, and there was a couple iterations of this. There's another eye slice shot I did that I kind of like more. Maybe we'll talk about that later, but it's not in this edit, so I didn't include it. I just want to I'm trying to find ways to incorporate both realistic fighting imagery or posing and actual fighting techniques sometimes, but also I want that zip blur motions going on. And for this, it was just I felt a really strong idea with just kind of having her pan down off camera, pans back through. And again, if I was animating a little more, I would have shown a little bit more of the Fossa Grimmin reaction to that. And then just cleaning up a little bit more, so it's just a step past stick figure. So again, the idea of that, character A is moving really fast, boom, boom, zipping through. And then it's kind of like a freezing / slow-mo thing. And then flash for her final action. But yeah, hope you like it. Comment what other fights you might want to see, and we'll work on those too.